Welcome to Millennium News Hour. I am Tanzeeba Noreen. In today's bulletin, we will present top and trending news from across the nation and the world. Let's begin with the headlines. UCLA campus, pro-Palestinian protesters tussle with Israel supporters. Columbia University threatens to suspend students who don't clear out of protest camp. Dozens of tornadoes plow central U.S., at least 5 killed. Trump meets privately with former GOP rival Ron DeSantis. President Joe Biden, Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador discuss migration in latest call. U.S. Egypt hopeful of Gaza truce. Biden speaks with Netanyahu as tensions over the Israel-Hamas war mount in the U.S. U.S. finds Putin probably did not order Navalny's death in February. Scottish First Minister Hamza Yusuf resigns. At least 40 people die in Kenya after a dam collapses following heavy rains. KFC shutters over 100 restaurants in Malaysia amid pro-Palestine boycott. Nadal tested in 3-hour win over Cachin in Madrid, and Swiatek reaches women's quarters. And Kolkata Knight Riders limit Delhi Capitals to 153 in crushing IPL win. You were listening to headlines, now news in detail. Protests at U.S. universities showed no sign of slowing over the weekend, with more arrests on campuses across the country and skirmishes between pro-Israeli and pro-Palestinian demonstrators at UCLA, where a tent encampment was set up last week. As the size of the pro-Palestinian encampment at the University of California at Los Angeles expanded in recent days, counter-protesters have become increasingly vocal and visible on the campus, although both sides remained peaceful until Sunday. That changed when some demonstrators broke through a barrier that the school had set up to separate the two factions. Mary Osako, UCLA's Vice Chancellor for UCLA Strategic Communications, said members of both factions shoved one another and shouted slogans and insults, and in some cases traded punches. Pushing and shoving persisted for some time among pockets of demonstrators, but campus police armed with batons eventually separated the sparring groups. UCLA has a long history of being a place of peaceful protest, and we are heartbroken about the violence that broke out, Osako said in a statement. Chanting had ceased by around 3:30 p.m. local time, and pro-Palestinian protesters trickled back to the encampment, according to the photographer at the scene. Los Angeles police were not involved in quelling the disturbance, a representative of the campus police said, and no arrests had been made. Columbia University on Monday issued notices to students in protest campus that they will be suspended if they don't clear out. Hours after the school's president said it will not divest from Israel, a demand that has sparked protests on college campuses across the country. The university told student demonstrators to vacate by 2 p.m. or else be suspended pending further investigation and barred from completing the spring semester. At the encampment, now in its second week, participants voted nearly unanimously to stay put. President Minouche Shafik, in her statement, asked the protesters to voluntarily disperse, saying the demonstration had created an unwelcoming environment for many of our Jewish students and faculty, that external actors have contributed to a hostile environment around the university gates, and that it had become a noisy distraction for students. Shafik also cited the May 15 commencement, saying, "We also do not want to deprive thousands of students and their families and friends of a graduation celebration." An exceptional number of tornadoes have ravaged parts of Oklahoma and nearby Great Plains states, leaving at least 5 dead, authorities and local media said Sunday. After 78 tornadoes were reported Friday, mostly in Nebraska and Iowa, a separate weather system Saturday brought 35 tornado reports from northern Texas and Oklahoma to Missouri, the National Weather Service said. The storms dumped up to 7 inches of rain in some places within hours, and meteorologists warned of a continuing danger of extreme weather Sunday, including flash flooding, hail, and more tornadoes. Sulphur in south-central Oklahoma was particularly hard hit late Saturday, with videos and images posted on social media showing scores of buildings ripped apart. A postal truck sat precariously atop wreckage of a building and trees, one video showed, with cinder blocks and wood beams strewn everywhere. Rescue crews went house to house and vehicle to vehicle in search of victims or survivors. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt, speaking Sunday from the hard-hit small town, said 4 people had been confirmed dead across the state. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feast. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Former President Donald Trump met privately over breakfast with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis on Sunday, 6 sources said. The meeting was described as nice and friendly by one of the sources, who added that DeSantis plans to help raise money for Trump. A separate source said the meeting was mutually agreed upon and arranged by Stephen Witkoff, the chairman of a real estate company, who is a mutual contact of the two men. However, a Trump campaign official said that DeSantis reached out to Trump's team through Witkoff 2 weeks ago to set up a meeting to bury the hatchet and discuss fundraising. The meeting, which was first reported by the Washington Post, took place in Florida. DeSantis was golfing at Shelby Club, a golf club near Miami, where Trump joined him for breakfast. DeSantis told donors and supporters during a private retreat in April that he planned to help raise money for Trump's campaign. Just months ago, DeSantis slammed Trump during the bitter Republican primary contest, referring to him as a candidate running on personal issues. If he is running for personal retribution, that is not going to lead to what we need as a country, DeSantis in December, in an interview on NBC's Meet the Press, said. President Joe Biden spoke with his Mexican counterpart Andrés Manuel López Obrador about cooperating on migration policy as the U.S. leader continues to deliberate whether to take executive action that would crack down on the number of migrants arriving at the southern U.S. border. The call occurred on Sunday at Biden's request, López Obrador said during his daily news conference Monday in Mexico City. In a joint statement, Biden and López Obrador said the call centered on their joint efforts to effectively manage migration and strengthen operational efficiency on the U.S.-Mexico border. We talk periodically, López Obrador said. I seek him out, he seeks me out, we chat. The Mexican leader said the two countries have made progress in controlling unauthorized migration by persuading many migrants not to use illegal methods to move from country to country. López Obrador also applauded a January decision by the U.S. Supreme Court that allowed Border Patrol agents to resume cutting razor wire that the state of Texas had installed along the border to try and deter migration. The joint statement said that Biden and López Obrador have directed their national security aides to immediately put in place concrete measures to reduce the number of unauthorized border crossings, although the governments did not elaborate what those steps would be. The policies would also protect human rights, according to the statement. U.S. top diplomat Antony Blinken said Monday he was hopeful Hamas would accept the latest proposal for a long-sought Gaza truce and hostage release deal as negotiators from the Palestinian group were due in Egypt. Egypt, Qatar, and the United States have been trying to mediate an agreement between Israel and Hamas for months, and a recent flurry of diplomacy appeared to suggest a new push towards halting the fighting. Talks are taking place in Cairo today, said Al Qahira News, which is linked to Egyptian intelligence services. It was not clear whether the Hamas delegation had already arrived, but Qatari mediators were also in Cairo, according to a source with knowledge of the talks. A senior Hamas official said the Palestinian group had no major issues with the most recent truce plan. Blinken told a World Economic Forum meeting in Saudi Arabia he was hopeful Hamas would accept a truce. Hamas has before it a proposal that is extraordinarily generous on the part of Israel, Blinken said, urging the group to decide quickly. I am hopeful that they will make the right decision. Speaking at the same meeting, Egypt's Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry said the proposal has taken into account the positions of both sides. President Joe Biden held a phone call on Sunday with Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu against the backdrop of growing U.S. college campus protests and a possibly imminent invasion of Rafah. The two discussed areas of commonality, with Biden reaffirming his ironclad commitment to Israel's security after Iran's missile and drone attack on the country earlier this month. The White House readout said the leaders reviewed hostage and ceasefire discussions and talked about humanitarian aid in Gaza as well. But the call also underscored daylight between the two on Israel's strategy in Gaza's southern city of Rafah. Netanyahu shows no signs of backing away from a ground offensive there, a potential move that the U.S. publicly opposes. The leaders discussed Rafah and the president reiterated his clear position. The readout said more than 1 million Palestinians are currently sheltering in the city. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for global updates. Intelligence officials in the United States have determined that Russian President Vladimir Putin probably did not plan for jailed opposition leader Alexei Navalny to be killed in February at an Arctic prison camp, according to U.S. media reports. The Wall Street Journal, citing people familiar with the matter that it did not name, reported that U.S. intelligence agencies did not dispute Putin's culpability in Navalny's death, but had concluded that the Russian president probably did not order Navalny's death at the time it took place. The finding was broadly accepted within the intelligence community and shared by several agencies, including the Central Intelligence Agency, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, and the State Department's Intelligence Unit. The journal cited its sources as saying on Saturday. The Associated Press news agency, citing a U.S. official, reported separately that the intelligence community had found no smoking gun, that Putin was aware of the timing of Navalny's death or directly ordered it. That report also stressed that Washington believed Putin was ultimately responsible for the death of Navalny, who endured brutal conditions in jail and was poisoned with a nerve agent in 2020 in an incident that almost killed him. Humza Yousaf announced his resignation as Scotland's first minister on Monday before he was due to face 2 confidence votes this week, sparked by his ditching of junior coalition partners in a row over climate policy. The 39-year-old quit following a turbulent year as head of the devolved administration, during which support for his pro-independence Scottish National Party has fallen. Yousaf had been facing growing calls to resign since unceremoniously ending the SNP's power-sharing deal with the Scottish Greens in the Scottish Parliament last week. His government had earlier abandoned ambitious targets for the transition to net zero carbon emissions, angering the Greens. The opposition Scottish Conservatives then lodged a vote of no confidence in Yousaf, which was due to be held as early as tomorrow and which the First Minister was at risk of losing. Scottish Labour also lodged another no confidence vote in his government. A dam collapsed in western Kenya early Monday, killing at least 40 people after a wall of water swept through houses and cut off a major road, police said. The old Kijabe Dam, located in the Mai Mahiu area of the Great Rift Valley region that is prone to flash floods, collapsed and water spilled downstream, carrying with it mud, rocks, and uprooted trees, police official Stephen told the Associated Press. Vehicles were entangled in the debris on one of Kenya's busiest highways, and paramedics treated the injured as water submerged large areas. Ongoing rains in Kenya have caused flooding that has already killed nearly 100 people and postponed the opening of schools. Heavy rains have been pounding the country since mid-March, and the Meteorology Department has warned of more rainfall. KFC has reduced its operations in Malaysia, shuttering more than 100 restaurants temporarily after months of a persistent pro-Palestine boycott of US-linked businesses triggered by the ongoing war in Gaza. QSR Brands, which owns and operates the KFC fast food franchise in Malaysia, is suspending 108 outlets nationwide, the Nanyang Siang Pao Chinese language daily said, based on information from Google Maps. A source at QSR, who declined to be named, said the company sees the boycott as an opportunity to seize some of the KFC store operations that have weighed on its balance sheet. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 17,831.07. The NYSE Composite is increased by 67.80 points or 0.38%. Tokyo stock close price is 37,934.76. The Nikkei 225 index is increased by 306.28 points or 0.81%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,113.04. The Shanghai index is increased by 24.41 points or 0.79%. Hong Kong stock close price is 17,746.91. The Hang Seng index is increased by 95.76 points or 0.54%. Bombay stock close price is 74,671.28. The Sensex index is increased by 941.12 points or 1.28%. Let's have a look on today's sports stories. Rafael Nadal's body withstood its toughest test yet at the Madrid Open as he needed 3 sets and more than 3 hours to get past 91st ranked Pedro Cachin on Monday. Nadal didn't show any signs of physical limitations as he won 6-1, 6-7, 6-3 to make it to the round of 16 at the clay court tournament, where he is the record 5-time champion. He will next face 31st ranked Izzy Lehechka. I took more risks in the third set, but it's hard after so many months without competing, Nadal said. I hadn't played a match like this in a long time. Let's see how it goes tomorrow. I don't know how I'm going to wake up, but I'm already happy for having won 3 matches in a row. The 37-year-old Nadal is trying to get in shape for next month's French Open. Since his latest injury layoff, he has had 2 matches in Barcelona and was pessimistic about his physical condition after arriving in Madrid, but he has won 3 more times in the capital. Top-ranked Iga Swiatek remained on track for a first Madrid title by dispatching Sara Sarib's Tormo 6-1, 6-0. Swiatek dropped just 5 points in the second set en route to the quarterfinals of the only major European clay tournament the Pole has yet to win. Kolkata Knight Riders dismantled batting maestros the Delhi Capitals at home in a commanding 7-wicket win in the Indian Premier League on Monday. Delhi scored 220 plus in 2 of its last 3 games but crashed to 153 for 9, a total saved from embarrassment by number 9 batter Kuldeep Yadav lashing out for an unbeaten 35 of 26 balls. Kolkata raced to 157 for 3 in 16.3 overs and cemented second place on the table. Phil Salt capitalized on a second-over dropped catch to smash 68, his 4th half-century of the season. Delhi stayed 6th. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. UCLA campus, pro-Palestinian protesters tussle with Israel supporters. Columbia University threatens to suspend students who don't clear out of protest camp. Dozens of tornadoes plow central U.S., at least 5 killed. Trump meets privately with former GOP rival Ron DeSantis. President Joe Biden, Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador discuss migration in latest call. U.S. Egypt hopeful of Gaza truce. Biden speaks with Netanyahu as tensions over the Israel-Hamas war mount in the U.S. U.S. finds Putin probably did not order Navalny's death in February. Scottish First Minister Hamza Yusuf resigns. At least 40 people die in Kenya after a dam collapses following heavy rains. KFC shutters over 100 restaurants in Malaysia amid pro-Palestine boycott. Nadal tested in 3-hour win over Kachin in Madrid, and Swiatek reaches women's quarters. And Kolkata Knight Riders limit Delhi Capitals to 153 in crushing IPL win. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel and visit our website. Our website address is www.millenniumnews24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.